This is from Sports Illustrated. Players worth discussing for the Browns this preseason. We're going with two wide receivers. So David Bell continues to be strange. How many people think Bell is in danger of not making the active roster? Not flashy, doesn't possess elite athletic traits, but that was obvious when the Browns drafted him. 6'1", 220. He has size and strength to operate as a power slot. Just a smart football player with good hands who consistently does his job. And then Austin Watkins. Watkins, the latest in a pantheon of unheralded wide receivers to become preseason fan favorites. Joining the likes of Damian Shealy Giuseppe, the difference is that Watson has NFL size, 6'1", 210. I can't imagine David Bell not making the roster, just given the way the Browns allow their draft picks to try to develop.
And that piece from Sports Illustrated, obviously, somebody who's been hard at my show comes on a lot. I knew the one on Watkins about the camp favorite wide receivers, and I wanted to make sure he hit on Giuseppe, and he certainly did. David Bell, what world do we live in where a rookie wide receiver had 24 receptions as a rookie, and all of a sudden everybody thinks he's getting cut year two? I mean, that makes no sense. He had 8 more receptions as a rookie than Donovan Peoples-Jones did. Obviously, 2020 was a more successful season. There was, with Jacoby Brissett, and, as well as Jacoby Brissett played, the problem is Jacoby Brissett, everything about him was a little bit slower mechanic-wise, had a little bit longer release. All of those things don't really add up to good slot wide receiver play. Maybe why you saw Donovan Peoples-Jones have the success he did. Certainly why Amari Cooper had the success he did. Because on the outside, it takes longer for those plays to develop. Well, on the inside, the slower the quarterback is, it doesn't matter that the slot guy beat the guy out of his break right away, because the quarterback, it's just a longer release. It's a slower, type of play from Jacoby. This is a much, much better skill set matchup for David Bell with Deshaun Watson, and certainly with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, as you saw, Friday night. Look, again, when we talk about the main components of skill people on this team, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, or Nick Chubb. You take Nick Chubb off, or you take, David Njoku off. You're still looking at every one of those other guys, and then all of a sudden, if David Bell is the 5th option, should be pretty easy for David Bell to get open. David Bell found a lot of ways to get open in his time at Purdue, and it wasn't just against, the low schools like Indiana and Rutgers. He performed well against the big names as well. Is he ever going to be a starter for this team? Most likely not. Is he guys, certainly got the capabilities, probably catch north of 40 passes out of the slot? Probably, because, teams are going to try to shut down the big stuff and maybe, understand that, the short plays underneath, the death of 1,000 paper cuts. Well, that's a specialty for a guy like David Bell.